Welcome back to school, guys. So if you're watching this PowerPoint, this just means one thing, that you're participating in the asynchronous portion of my class. And so although you're participating in the asynchronous portion, I still want to go over some of the ground rules of what it looks like to be in a Teams meeting. So the first thing that I want to talk about are the different icons. So this is the chat icon, this message button. This is the raise your hand button. This is the video feed, and this is the mic. So let's just talk about some ground rules and expectations. So when you join the meeting, I expect you guys to just go ahead and mute your microphone. And this is just for best practices, so there aren't too many voices talking at one time. If there's a slash over the microphone, it means you're muted. If there is no slash, it means you're not muted. Okay? And so I expect you to be muted unless I call on you or unless you have a question for me. Simple. And so for the video feed, I'm not going to require you to turn on your video and webcam, but I would say it's probably best for you to turn on because it has been proven that it helps engagement and helps focus. So again, I'm not going to require you, but best practices, you probably should. And so again, if you have a question, you can unmute your microphone and just ask it. But if there are too many voices going on, just go ahead and just raise your hand. Just click this button. I'll call on you, and then we'll just go from there. Another way you can actually ask the question is, again, through the chat tool. Just type your question down here, and then I'll answer your question when I get to it. So again, best practices, go ahead and just mute your microphone unless called on or you have a question. I'm not going to require you again to turn on your video feed, and I would just expect you to just participate in the class, right? Whenever I call on you, just answer or just give some feedback for me, right? I know it's virtual, I know it's tough, but again, let's make the best of our situation. So let's just begin with the agenda. So first question is about me, or the first thing we're going to talk about, is about me. I'm going to introduce myself, who I am, just so you can have a chance to learn about how I've gotten here and just kind of my backstory. Number two, we're going to talk about the syllabus. We're going to talk about a little bit about the expectations and curriculum of my class. The third thing we're going to talk about are just some frequently asked questions. We're not going to go through all of them. I'm going to link you where you can read more on it, but we're going to talk about some of the main questions I anticipate. And then 4, 5, and 6 are the different resources we're going to go through today. First is the hub. And so the hub is kind of where you're going to find all your resources. That means your notes, your PowerPoints, the videos like this one, and where you can turn in all your homeworks and assignments. Teams is where you're going to join for synchronous live meetings. And then on my personal website, christopherhua.com, is a second place besides the hub where you can access resources like videos, PowerPoints, and notes. So again, we're going to talk about the hub, Teams, and my website. So my story is, I was born in Los Angeles and I moved to Houston, and I stayed in Houston up until college. So went from LA all the way to Houston. And so after high school, I graduated from high school and went to the University of Texas in Austin. This is where I got my Bachelor of Science in Nutrition and Exercise Science. And this is also where I began my teaching career. From there, I went to Fort Worth, and then from there, I went back to Houston, where I am now. During that time, I got my master's in education from Johns Hopkins University. This just means I went to undergrad, college, and then I went to grad school as well at the University of Texas and then Johns Hopkins University. So I'm just going to go over some of the questions that are always asked by students every single year. First one is, how old am I? I am 28 years old. My ethnicity, the question I get asked all the time is, are you Korean? Are you Korean? Are you Korean? No, I am not. I'm half Chinese, half Vietnamese. Okay? Just so you have that. My marital status, I'm actually engaged. Children, I'm always asked, do you have kids? Do you have kids? Nope, 0 kids. How many years have I been in education? About 7 years. And what's my motivation to be in education? Well, I want to change the education system. I really believe that there's a lot to be changed. There's a lot that's good, but there's also a lot that's really bad about it. And so I want to do my best to really change the education system and provide a quality education for all students. So some of my hobbies, I love music. I'll listen to any kind of music, rap, hip hop, R&B, EDM, country, rock, K-pop. Doesn't matter. I'll listen to it. I just love music. I'm really big into fashion. I love sneakers. I love just clothes in general. A lot of people show their creativity through music, art, or um, different forms of fine arts. Me, I like to present it through my clothes, essentially. I'm big into sports. I play basketball. I ran track. I play football. Um, I snowboard. I did gymnastics. I can do a backflip, things like that. I'm pretty sporty. The only sport I don't play is soccer. These are some of the things I also believe in. The first one is I believe that education is the building block to providing the best future for yourself. Right? I believe in really focusing on improvement, and that's really done through education. Number two, I believe in generosity. I believe in giving back. I believe in helping. In the end of the day, the money you make, you don't take it to the grave, right? You don't take it to your next life. You don't take it after you die. So you might as well use it. You might as well give. You might as well be generous. The next one is I believe in being caring. I believe in empathy. I believe in understanding. And I believe that we should always just listen to others. And then I believe in being fair as well, right? I'm going to treat you fairly. At this point, guys, you guys are 8th graders. I'm going to treat you like adults, right? You treat me with respect. I promise I'll treat you with respect as well. And we can always have a conversation. If you don't like something I did or you don't agree with something, just talk to me, right? Have a conversation. It's really simple. And so these are just some pictures and some individuals in my life. These are just some friends, some more friends. This is my fiance. This is just a picture of us. And so let's talk about the syllabus. And so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna flip the camera view. And so some of you guys should have this binder. And so what I did was I gave this binder to all of the people who went to the supply pickup. If you do not get this binder, let me know. I'll do my best to get you this binder. And why is this binder so important? Because what I did was actually put all the stuff you'll need for virtual learning already inside. And so what does this mean? This means that you have the ability to work through this, because I know looking at a computer can be really frustrating at times and just really taxing on the body. So I provided this binder just so you can have it. And this binder is actually what we're going to use for in-person learning once we go back. So let's talk about this binder. So the first thing is the syllabus. So very generally speaking, this syllabus, the organization, you need a few things. You need an electronic device with webcam capabilities and working mic. So that means that you need a laptop, and that means that you need probably a smartphone, one of those two. If you don't have one of those two, you need to tell me, you need to ask me so we can get you one, right? It's imperative that you have one of these, or else you're really going to struggle in the next 6 weeks. Number two, you probably need internet access. Actually, not probably, you do need internet access. What I can say is we are handing out hotspots in the next week or so. So again, if you need it, let us know. You probably need a pen or pencil, right? If you're going to take notes, you're going to need an organized science binder. I've already provided for you. Again, if you need it or you don't have one, let me know. I'll do my best to get you one of these. Okay, and then a calculator. You can probably use your phone if you don't have one. We're talking about grading policy, and yes, grades do matter. I repeat, grades do matter. So you have major grades, tests 40%, quizzes 30%, daily grades 20%, and participation is 10%. This is what the grading breakdown is going to look like. And so what are my expectations for virtual learning? I expect you to have the same level of behavior and effort displayed in an in-person classroom online. I'll expect that that your interactions with your peers in this online classroom will have no disruptive, inappropriate, or offensive language. Also, your best work and effort is expected, and failure to complete any assignments will result in a 0. If you need help or are in a situation which is affecting your ability to complete work in my class, please let me know. I'm here to help you succeed, learn, and go on to the 9th grade, right? What I'm going to say is this. When you guys were in 6th grade, you had a long-term sub for about 6 to 7 months, and so your science background, because of that, in 6th grade is very, very low. In 7th grade, halfway through the year, we went virtual, and because of that, your science background is again very, very low. And so this means what? You guys are coming to me with very little foundational skills, and that's why it's really important for you to work and focus in my classroom, and to work really hard, be proactive, pay attention. Because here's the thing, whether it's in my class or your future classes, at one point in time you will go back to in-person learning, and when that happens, right, you're going to pay the price if you have not been focusing in your science, right, when you go back. So I'm just telling you that up front right now. This stuff right here may not seem important to you. You may not want to go back to school. You may not want to pay attention, but here's the thing. You will pay the price eventually. And so what I'm going to say is this. Do your best now to work through the issues you have, because I guarantee you, you will never have a teacher that works as hard as me for you. I promise that, bar none. So use me to your advantage. I'm going to help you as much as I can, right? But I expect you guys to kind of, help yourself as well. Okay? And so let's continue with the binder real quick. And so these are some of the FAQs right here. And if you look on the left side, these are just some of the courses, instructional planning for my classroom. So introduction to chemistry right here, atomic structure. And so virtual learning, the first thing we're gonna actually learn is density. And so the reason why I decided on density first was because it's something that you've seen before. So I wanted to ease your way back in, right? So you have some background knowledge. I didn't want to make it brand new and fresh and overwhelm you, okay? And so some FAQ questions again. This will go, we'll go over a few of these in a second, but one thing I do want to address is this page right here. There's this calendar that I put in here. And so this was the correct calendar up until a certain point, and then we changed it. So what I want you to do is take everything in this calendar right here and then just rip it out. We're not going to need it, right? We're not going to need it because, again, that is wrong. You're going to have an updated and new calendar in your binder later, okay? And so let's go ahead and switch back to the normal view. And so let's talk about some FAQs. And so the supplies we just talked about, you need these things. If you don't have any of these things, tell us, let us know, right? And so now let's get to the important stuff, attendance and grades. Like I told you already, grades do matter, right? Grades do matter. But here's the thing, how do you count for attendance? You have one of three methods, 1, 2, 3. You have until 11:59 p.m. on a given day to accomplish one of the following to be counted as present for that day, okay? If you don't, you're gonna be counted as absent, and you do not want to be counted as absent. I'm telling you right now. And so I wrote 11:59, but in reality it's actually 3:30. But up until 11:59, I can actually go in and make some adjustments to it. So if you do some work at like 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, I can make some adjustments. So again, you have to do at least one of these three things. The first one, you have to attend a live synchronous lesson. If you attend a live synchronous lesson, you're present automatically. The second way you can be counted as present is you complete your activities on the hub, okay? So I will always have assignments on the hub. When you complete it, or if you complete it, you'll be marked as present, even if you didn't attend a live lesson, right? Even if you didn't attend the live lesson, you'll still be counted as present, okay? And the third way is you let me know in advance. You just contact me. You say, hey, Mr. Hua, I can't access it. My internet's out, blah, blah, blah. And then we'll figure something out, right? I'll do something where you can text me an image, something like that, right? So again, how you count as present for a day? By 11:59, you do one of three things. You attend a live synchronous learning on Teams, you go to the hub and complete your assignments, or 3, contact me via text, email, phone call, doesn't matter how you do it, just let me know, okay? Next thing is your schedule here. So let's talk about a few things. So today is Tuesday, and so it's a weird schedule because homeroom was first, right? You go homeroom, 5th period, lunch, 6th period, office hour, 7th period. Okay, but on a normal day, we'll follow one of 2 days. We'll follow an A day and a B day. And so A days will have 1st through 4th period. B days will have 5th through 7th period. And then homeroom. Okay? And so every period will last an hour and a half. And I know an hour and a half seems like a long time, but let's make something clear. The first 45 minutes will be synchronous. It'll be face to face like this. It'll be us talking and giving a lesson. The last 45 minutes will be asynchronous. That means that we will not be face to face. I'll give you an assignment. It'll be like independent work. You do it on your own. If you finish in 20 minutes, you finish in 15 minutes, hey, you're done. Simple, right? So although the time block is an hour and a half, I guarantee you we'll finish most days within 45 minutes. Promise you, okay? I can almost guarantee that. And so let's talk about that as well. We have first period, we have second period, you have lunch from 11:40 to 12:10, you have third period, you will have office hours. And so what is an office hour? An office hour is a chance for you to come to one of your teachers and get extra help. So if you need help on an assignment or something like that, you go to your office hour, contact us, we'll be there. If you don't have any questions, hey, this time period right here, 50 minutes, you're not doing anything. You're just hanging out. And then you have fourth period or your homeroom, okay? And so homeroom, normally we'll just go over some logistical things, but again, your homeroom, it shouldn't be that long either, right? And so this is just kind of the logistics. Make sure you know when you have what. So if you have me for first period, you start at 8:30, okay? Second period, 10:10. Third period, 12:10. Fourth period, 2:30. Sixth period, I don't have a fifth period. Sixth period, 12:10. And seventh period, 12:10, okay? And this will be sent to you via an email. So you don't always have to go back to this. This will also be on my hub and my website. I'll talk more about that. Okay, so what platforms are we going to use? So like I said, we're going to be using the hub, Teams, my website, and an app known as Podsi that I created. We're going to talk more about that in another video, but let's just focus on these three. So for the hub and Teams, we're going to use our sign-in that we use for everything, right? The username is S, your student ID, at online.houstonisd.org, and your password is your birthday. And so again, what did I say earlier? The hub will be used for any assignments and any activities that you have. Teams will be used for synchronous learning, and that's a live face-to-face. My website will be a second way you can get resources similar to the hub. The only difference is you will not turn in things into my website, only the hub. And again, Podsi, this app that we're going to be using, we'll talk more about that later. And so what does it look like to navigate these resources? So actually in this video, I'm not gonna talk about it because I've already created some separate videos that I've uploaded onto the hub. So just go ahead and watch that. There's one on walking through the hub, there's one on walking through Teams, and there's one on walking through my website, okay? So go ahead and make sure you also complete my Do Now, which is the survey, and also my exit ticket, which is my assignment for today, which is the Google form, okay? So if you have any questions, feel free to ask. Good luck, guys.